you're told there's no cure. There's nothing that's going to help you in Australia.
Mhm.
No treatment options in the limited time you had. But that tenacity we were talking about, that in you, you seem like you got this really infectious positivity, that you're going to do everything you can to come out of this arm wrestle the winner. And that's what you did. So you were searching for weeks, searching and searching online, and you came across a drug trial in the Providence Cancer Center in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
And they were testing an experimental immunotherapy drug called Novolumab.
Yeah.
And so this was only being used at the time on, helpless stage 4 metastatic cancers like the one you were diagnosed with. So tell us a little bit more about, firstly, how you stumbled upon that or you found it. And I guess give us a bit of an introduction to, where things sort of went with that.
Okay, sure. So I think the catalyst for that is an appointment at my oncologist. And I was lucky enough that that chemotherapy, I think it was only worked on 10%, 5 to 10% of patients to hold things is what they, for a while.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough that that happened for me.
Yeah.
And it did hold things for a while, and then husband and I went to the doctors, for your regular kind of appointment. And I was having scans throughout that as well. And I said to the doctor, I didn't want to say it, but I knew I had to ask. And I said, how long is this chemo going to be working for me? And he said, once again, matter of factly, oh, put it this way, it won't be working in 3 months' time. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I remember just staring at the floor and just saying, well, if you think I'm going to sit around and wait for that to happen, we've got another thing coming. And my husband was saying to him, is there anything else? Is there any clinical trials? And he said, oh, I've heard of a few going on overseas. And my husband said, can you tip us in? Can you give us? And he said, no, it's up to you. If you want to go for it, that's totally up to you. And so that's when I knew I had to take my life into my own hands. And we got home that afternoon and I just got on my computer, typing in metastatic melanoma, clinical trials, anything I could think of. And then I literally found this clinical trial in Portland, Oregon that was taking place. And it was basically for patients who were going to die anyway. So great subject you might as well try it on people that are, hopeless cases. And it was like first out of the rats on
You probably
people.
feel a bit like a guinea pig, don't you, going over there, but you really don't care at this stage, do you? You want
No.
anything and anything that'll keep you alive. So
Yeah. A girlfriend said to me, do you really want to be a lab rat? And I said,
don't have a
I'd
choice.
rather be a lab rat than a dead rat.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I started my campaign.
And so emails went back and forth,
Phone calls,
week out.
emails. And at first they were kind of, I think they were a little bit amused that this Australian girl had started contacting them and harassing them. But it wasn't long before they started just giving me the no. It was no, 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 you're not a US citizen. No, you're not in our medical system. Each time they came at me, I went back at them with, um, you know, a reason why they should accept me. And no, what if you get sick? You're not, who's going to pay for that? What if you die here? I'm like, you don't worry about my bank account. I'll worry about that. And then finally they just said, no, we're really sorry. Not only are you not a US citizen, but the drug companies, the trial's full at 70 patients. And just wasn't going to give up. And I just kept going. And then I think I always say I may or may not have called up and recited the Hippocratic Oath over the phone to one of their nurses, like, you have something that might help me. I'm a child of the universe. Does it really matter where I live? And next minute I know, yeah, I get it. This is 3.5 months later, mind you. All the while my life is ticking away to that end date. And then one morning I got a phone call what time I wanted my appointment with the head doctor in Portland, Oregon.
And so there was all this red tape, whole host of complications for you to participate, and they told you it was at full capacity. I understand that your husband also, he kind of made that last push there by getting on the phone to, you obviously love him a lot with all the support he's given you, and that that helped you get things across the line effectively. You became patient 71. So there was only 70 trials. You became 70 participants on the trial. You became patient 71.
Yeah. I did. And for the first time in my life, I was happy to be a number.
Happy to be just.
Yeah. The scientists don't even know your name. They don't even know your name. You're 71. That's who you are to them. And shout out to my beautiful husband. He was emailing just as much as me, and the poor guy, like, he couldn't even go to the bathroom without me banging on the door saying, haven't you got an email to send? Haven't you got a phone call to make? And persistence absolutely paid off. And they finally accepted me, and they thought, oh my God, we're going to get this pain in the ass from Australia coming over. And I ended up being all their best friends and helping raise money for them. But and it was no guarantees over there. They didn't have any long-term data. It was just, which I guess we'll talk about, this immunotherapy drug.